Hello. We use AI to create short stories based on the lore of Warhammer 40,000 using information we feed it. We then use another AI to turn them into short audiobooks. Note these are not canon, and in many cases stray away from the lore altogether. All rights and credit to references used are given to Games Workshop. Enjoy.
Book 1. Siblings of War. In the treacherous depths of a desolate hive world, the mighty Black Templars, clad in their iconic black and white power armor, prepared for an epic battle against the vile forces of chaos. The once prosperous city had been tainted by the corrupting influence of the chaos gods, transforming it into a twisted realm where demons roamed freely and heretics performed blasphemous rituals. With bolters and chainswords at the ready, the Black Templars stood resolute, their unwavering faith in the Emperor fueling their determination to purge this dark scourge from the planet's surface. Suddenly, from the skies above, a resplendent procession of Adepta Sororitas Seraphim descended upon the battlefield. Their angelic forms adorned in shimmering power armor, the Sisters of Battle joined their brothers in arms, the Black Templars, forming an unbreakable alliance against the forces of chaos. With their faith in the Emperor matched only by their zeal for righteousness, they landed amidst the chaos, bolters blazing and chainswords singing hymns of retribution, ready to deliver the Emperor's judgment upon the heretics that dared defile this once great city. As the dust settled, the air resonated with the deafening roars of the World Eaters, the infamous Chaos Space Marine warband. Bloodthirsty and savage, these warriors had succumbed fully to the chaotic blessings of Khorne, the blood god. Clad in berserker red and adorned with gory trophies, the World Eaters emerged from the shadows, their weapons slick with the blood of countless victims. Led by a towering champion wielding a mighty chain axe, their eyes burning with a frenzied bloodlust, the World Eaters charged forth, eager to unleash their unhinged wrath upon the righteous defenders of the Imperium. The stage was set for an epic clash between the forces of order and the unrelenting chaos. As the World Eaters bellowed their battle cries, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble, heralding the arrival of the Plague-Bearers, grotesque demons of Nurgle, the Lord of Decay. These vile creatures emerged from the swirling warp rifts, their bloated bodies oozing with foul pus and disease. Their once human forms twisted and distorted, they advanced alongside the World Eaters, spreading an aura of sickness and decay. Nurglings scampered around, giggling with infectious delight, while plague drones buzzed overhead, trailing pestilential vapors. With a toxic stench permeating the air, the unholy alliance of the World Eaters and Nurgle's demonic horde aimed to drown the defenders in a deluge of corruption and despair. The battle took a dire turn as the forces of chaos grew stronger, testing the resolve and faith of the stalwart defenders. In response to the desperate plea for reinforcements, the rumbling sound of engines filled the air as a squadron of sleek and formidable land raiders, bearing the symbols of the Black Templars, thundered onto the battlefield. Out stepped a contingent of towering dreadnoughts, ancient war machines brimming with wisdom and decades of battle experience. Leading them was the venerable Marshal Helbrecht, his towering figure adorned in ornate black armor, his sword ablaze with righteous fury. With a thunderous voice, he rallied the weary defenders, instilling renewed hope and determination in their hearts. The arrival of these legendary reinforcements breathed fresh life into the beleaguered defenders, signaling a turning point in the battle against the unholy forces of chaos. The tides were about to shift, and the Black Templars, bolstered by their revered captain and the indomitable might of the dreadnoughts, prepared to launch a counteroffensive against the surging horde of chaos. The Chaos forces, sensing the impending threat posed by the reinforced Black Templars, answered the call with their own twisted cunning. From the depths of the warp, a horde of feral and mutated chaos spawn emerged, their grotesque forms a testament to the corrupting power of chaos. With twisted limbs and maddened eyes, they charged towards the Black Templars and dreadnoughts, driven by a frenzied hunger for destruction. Simultaneously, a malevolent sorcerer of Tzeentch, accompanied by a retinue of rubric marines, unleashed a barrage of warp fire, casting bolts of arcane energy that crackled with unnatural power. The demonic and sorcerous onslaught sought to test the resolve of the Black Templars, to overwhelm them with sheer chaos, and to drown their faith in an ocean of madness. The battlefield was now a swirling maelstrom of violence and sorcery, as the forces of order and chaos clashed with unrestrained ferocity. In the heart of the swirling maelstrom, Brother Edric, a devout Black Templar, fought side by side with Sister Celestia, a courageous Adepta Sororitas Seraphim. Their combined valor and unwavering faith made them a formidable duo amidst the chaos of battle. Brother Edric, his black and white armor adorned with purity seals and trophies of fallen foes, wielded his mighty power sword with righteous fury, cleaving through the ranks of mutated chaos spawn with each swing. Sister Celestia, her seraphim wings shimmering in the midst of combat, unleashed a storm of bolt rounds from her inferno pistols, setting her targets ablaze. Their coordination and unspoken bond showed the true essence of the Imperium's strength, unyielding resolve in the face of darkness. Together, they fought tirelessly, their faith in the Emperor shining like a beacon amidst the swirling tides of chaos, determined to prevail against the unholy forces that threatened their world. Just as Brother Edric and Sister Celestia thought they had gained the upper hand, a sudden psychic disturbance rippled through the battlefield. In the midst of the chaos, a lone psyker, marked by the Chinchian symbols, emerged from the shadows. With a wave of his hand, reality itself seemed to warp and twist. The once clear division between friend and foe blurred, causing confusion among the combatants. Brother Edric and Sister Celestia found themselves momentarily disoriented, their senses deceived by the psyker's twisted sorcery. In the midst of the confusion, they inadvertently turned their weapons upon each other, their loyal hearts torn between loyalty to the Imperium and the bewildering illusions before them. As the truth slowly unraveled, they realized the nature of the psychic deception and snapped back to their senses, narrowly averting a tragic mistake. Now, even more resolved, they focused their combined might on the true enemy, vowing to overcome the psychic manipulations and emerge victorious in the face of this unexpected twist. Amidst the intense battle, a misplaced artillery shell from a nearby Imperial tank rumbled overhead, veering off course due to an unforeseen mechanical malfunction. With an amusingly unfortunate timing, the shell careened towards the chaos-infested battlefield and landed right in the midst of a group of chaos spawn. The explosion was followed by a series of comical chain reactions, sending the gibbering mutants flying in all directions like twisted ragdolls. Some ended up dangling from lampposts, others stuck headfirst in crumbling buildings, and one unfortunate creature was launched into the air, soaring like a deranged acrobat, before crash-landing into a putrid puddle. Brother Edric and Sister Celestia paused for a moment, exchanging bewildered glances before succumbing to an uncontrollable fit of laughter, their mirth echoing amidst the chaos. This unexpected, albeit comedic twist momentarily lightened the grim atmosphere of battle, offering a brief respite from the unrelenting brutality. With renewed spirits and a shared chuckle, they pressed on, ready to face the challenges ahead with undeterred resolve. As the battle raged on, the fabric of reality tore open, unleashing a horde of 7 grotesque and nightmarish demonic entities known as the Warp Fiends. These abominations bore the mark of the chaos god Slanesh, their sinewy forms twisted and contorted, adorned with tongues, eyes, and other perverse appendages. Their shrieks and wails filled the air, disorienting and unsettling all who heard them. With lightning-fast agility and razor-sharp claws, the Warp Fiends leapt into the fray, their movements a chaotic dance of violence and sadism. Each Warp Fiend possessed its own horrifying abilities, from the power to induce crippling hallucinations to the ability to drain the life force of their victims with a touch. As they tore through the battlefield, their presence added an even greater sense of dread and urgency to the already intense conflict, challenging the defenders' fortitude and resourcefulness in the face of these diabolical adversaries. Determined to overcome the Tsinchian sorcerer's devious manipulations, Brother Edric and Sister Celestia coordinated their efforts with unwavering trust in each other. Brother Edric, his mind fortified against psychic intrusions, focused his formidable willpower to disrupt the sorcerer's sorcery. Channeling the indomitable faith that burned within him, he invoked the Emperor's name, creating a psychic barrier that shielded him and Sister Celestia from the sorcerer's malevolent influence. Meanwhile, Sister Celestia utilized her seraphim agility to soar through the chaos, weaving in and out of the battlefield with grace and precision. Recognizing the source of the psychic disturbances, Sister Celestia unleashed a barrage of bolt rounds upon the sorcerer, her inferno pistols spitting righteous flames. The sorcerer, taken off guard by the sudden display of unwavering unity, was forced to retreat, his concentration shattered. Brother Edric seized the opportunity, closing the distance with swift determination. With a powerful swing of his power sword, he struck true, severing the sorcerer's connection to the warp and rendering him powerless. The Tsinchian sorcerer, now vulnerable and defeated, fell to his knees, his schemes crumbling around him. Brother Edric and Sister Celestia, their faith unyielding and their spirits undeterred, stood victorious over their fallen foe. Through their unwavering bond and unshakable conviction, they had overcome the insidious psychic manipulation and emerged triumphant. Their victory against the sorcerer served as a beacon of hope, inspiring their comrades to press forward with renewed determination, knowing that the forces of chaos could be vanquished through the strength of unity and unwavering faith in the Emperor. As the Tsinchian sorcerer's life force waned, he clung to one final act of malevolence. With a blood-curdling scream, he offered himself and his rubric marines as a sacrificial offering to summon forth a monstrous greater demon of Tsinch, known as the Lord of Change. The air crackled with unnatural energies as the summoning ritual unfolded, dark incantations echoing through the battlefield. From the depths of the warp, a colossal creature emerged, its form constantly shifting and morphing. Towering over the combatants, the Lord of Change spread its massive wings, each feather containing kaleidoscopic visions and arcane secrets. Eyes filled with maddening knowledge stared out from its ever-changing visage. The arrival of the Lord of Change brought an even deeper sense of dread, for its powers of manipulation and sorcery were unmatched. It unleashed bolts of warp fire, twisting reality itself with each strike. The battlefield became a chaotic storm of twisted illusions and mind-warping energies, testing the resolve and sanity of all those caught in its presence. Undeterred, Brother Edric and Sister Celestia, bolstered by their unwavering faith, rallied the remaining defenders against this newfound threat. With resolute determination, they strategized to exploit the demon's constant metamorphosis, striking at its vulnerabilities whenever it momentarily assumed a more stable form. Their coordinated efforts, combined with the unyielding faith of their allies, created small openings in the Lord of Change's defenses. Utilizing their respective skills and strengths, Brother Edric's masterful swordsmanship and Sister Celestia's swift aerial assaults, they chipped away at the demon's manifestation, weakening it with every blow. Though the battle against the Lord of Change was arduous and fraught with peril, the combined might of the Black Templars and Adepta Sororitas prevailed. With a final resounding blow, Brother Edric and Sister Celestia struck true, severing the demon's connection to the mortal realm. The Lord of Change let out a spine-chilling screech before dissipating, returning to the warp from whence it came. As the echoes of battle subsided and the smoke cleared, Brother Edric and Sister Celestia stood amidst the fallen, their bodies battered but spirits unbroken. They had faced the depths of chaos, triumphed over the sorcerer's sacrifice, and vanquished the Lord of Change through their unwavering unity and steadfast devotion. Their victory was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Imperium, proving that even the mightiest demonic entities could be overcome by the unbreakable resolve of those who stood as guardians of the Emperor's light. As Brother Edric and Sister Celestia revelled in their hard-fought victory, a sudden cataclysmic explosion rocked the battlefield. Unbeknownst to them, the sacrificial act of the Tsinchian sorcerer had triggered a dormant warp anomaly, causing reality to fracture and collapse upon itself. A rift tore open, consuming everything in its path, including Brother Edric and Sister Celestia. In a horrifying twist of fate, they found themselves pulled into the swirling vortex, their bodies and souls ensnared by the tumultuous forces of the warp. The battlefield, once a scene of intense conflict, now stood empty, save for the echoes of their valiant struggle. The Imperium had lost two of its greatest champions, and their absence left a void in the hearts of their comrades. The tragedy served as a somber reminder that even the noblest heroes could be swallowed by the unforgiving abyss of the warp. In the depths of the chaotic warp, as Brother Edric and Sister Celestia found themselves trapped within the turbulent currents of unreality, a desperate cry for aid escaped Sister Celestia's lips. With unwavering faith, she called out to St. Celestine, the living saint and embodiment of the Emperor's divine grace. To her astonishment, a shimmering light pierced through the maelstrom, heralding the arrival of St. Celestine herself. Radiant wings unfurled as the living saint descended upon them, her presence emanating a soothing aura of hope and purity amidst the tumultuous chaos. Recognizing the dire predicament of the Black Templar and the Seraphim sister, Saint Celestine extended her hand, her touch infused with divine power. Through her miraculous intervention, the living saint shielded Brother Edric and Sister Celestia from the suffocating influence of the warp. Her celestial strength formed a barrier against the madness and corruption, allowing them a moment of respite and clarity within the tumultuous realm. With her guidance and protection, they now had a chance to navigate the treacherous depths of the warp and find a path back to reality. United with St. Celestine, Brother Edric and Sister Celestia gathered their resolve and embraced the divine guidance bestowed upon them. With renewed determination, they ventured forth, guided by the living saint's light, braving the ever-shifting horrors of the warp in their quest to return to the material realm. Their encounter with St. Celestine in this twisted realm of chaos offered them a glimmer of hope, a lifeline in the face of overwhelming despair, and a testament to the unwavering presence of the Emperor's grace, even in the darkest of circumstances.